Buenos dias. Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report for December 18th, 2019. I was thinking of calling it the weekly rant, or the weekly rambling. Oh, I feel like ranting today. Anyway, I'm down here. The sun is square the moon. Moon's over there, 26 degrees Virgo. Squaring that sun, conjunct the galactic center at 26 degrees Sagittarius. That sun is moving on, moving on, moving on. You know, on Saturday, he's going into Capricorn for the solstice. Longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, shortest night of the year in southern hemisphere. Look at that. I am at the sacred space. You know, all the indigenous people said a confluence where two creeks, rivers, waterways come together. This is very sacred union. Here we have it. You can see it right there. Absolutely love this place. Cut it out. Let me just go up and get you the trees a little bit. We got the howler monkeys happening these days. Might catch one of them for the report. Where was I? Oh yes, the sun and the moon. Well, you know, tomorrow is a big day. Mercury exactly square Neptune. Third quarter square. And Venus gets out of earthly Capricorn and breaks free. Liberates herself. She's been emerging out of the underworld conjunction with Pluto, right? You know, we all kind of went under. We are coming back up and resurfacing. Venus will be moving into Aquarius. Absolutely marvelous, beautiful. That's on Thursday, tomorrow. And then on Saturday, Sun moves into Capricorn. Moon has come around by then. Thursday, she's moving through Libra. By Saturday, she's going on and down into Scorpio. Hallelujah. She squares Venus, first of all, opposes Uranus, and so there we are on Saturday. You know, it's a lot of times, and I'll talk about it, you know, astrologers do a chart for the solstice. And that chart kind of sets the tone for, you know, the next 3 months until the equinox. And really, if we look at this one, it's the moon in Scorpio, opposite Uranus and Taurus, squaring Venus in Aquarius. It's called a T-square. So that kind of sets the tone that I'm going to be talking a little bit more about here, you know, when I get done with all these aspects. The Venus is exactly square Uranus on Sunday, okay? And so, you know, we got this Uranian, Aquarius, revolution, rebellion going on. And Tuesday, the sun comes into a trine with Uranus. So it's like Uranus is the gift that keeps on giving, okay, I would say for this week, until finally on Christmas Day, we have the solar eclipse. Oh yes. 4 degrees Capricorn, 7 minutes, conjunct Jupiter. Just a couple of degrees away. Conjunct the south node of the moon. That's what makes an eclipse. So this is a south node solar eclipse, and I will look at the camera and talk to you more about it right now after I get this waterfall. Oh yeah. Okay. Hola. What am I talking about here? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm sitting here in a bunch of tree roots, okay, that are all gnarly and windy, and they, you know, the roots are wrapped around the rocks and the stones, and I sit down, and what do I find? I mean, I'm sure it's probably a cow, okay, but it's just like so appropriate. I'll give you a little shot of, it's a vertebrae, yeah? There's the Sushumna, where the Kundalini of the cow goes. Yeah, oh, pretty tripped out, huh? Really something. Capricorn Saturn. Saturn rules the bones, the skeleton, concrete. Earth, cardinal Earth. I mean, this is just, it is governments, institutions, corporations, the big brother, the Uncle Sam, the employer, the boss, the military. I mean, whoa. And we have a big gathering going on. Right? Now Jupiter's in there. Venus is moving on, but Pallas Athene. Timothy Holleran, a member of the Dream Team, just did a great video for the New Paradigm Astrology community. If you're not in it, you could be. Anyway, he just did a whole video on Pallas Athene. She's joining the dance, the goddess of wisdom, joining together, okay, with this Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and Capricorn all through 2020. Squaring Eris. I'm going to talk more about Eris one of these days. And, this Pallas Athene has to do with justice, and I really feel like Jupiter has to do with justice. And now the sun coming out of Sagittarius in the galactic center, galactic justice, moving into Capricorn. And I just kind of feel like it's the Supreme Court, like the real Supreme Court. Capricorn does have to do, okay, with laws. They're man-made laws, but ideally they are based out of the natural laws discovered, seen, realized from an expanded consciousness in Sagittarius, and then they are implemented. But they're not just man-made laws. Okay, I mean, Capricorn has to do with the law. Good, bad, right, wrong, live, die. Yes, we are infinite, multi-dimensional, fifth dimensional. A lot of the light workers want to think that they're in the fifth dimension physically, but it's not the case. We can be spiritually, consciously, even emotionally, I believe we can really pull our energy up into the fifth and sixth and beyond dimensions. But our physical body is here in the third, and the third dimension is polarized. There is life and there is death. Grasshopper. And we have judgment. Judgment. You cannot order off of the menu in a restaurant without making a judgment. If you think that you can live your life without judging, you're deluding yourself. You are living in a massive illusion. This is a time we are getting more polarized. Okay, I just read an article, the low frequency Wi-Fi, like ever since the internet came in the 90s. Okay, it's been this low frequency. It's interesting how society has become more polarized and more polarized and more polarized. And we are moving more towards polarization. And we can go, that's not light working, evolutionary, new paradigm. I tell you, it ain't looking the way I thought it was going to be looking when I started New Paradigm Astrology. This new paradigm's looking pretty gnarly, at least, but birth is messy. So we're birthing it, and it's a messy time. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay that way, But we are going into this chaotic time. And part of the chaotic time, but what it is, with the polarization, we are able to define ourselves, my core, my values, what I individually and uniquely stand for, what I believe, what I want to leave behind me as a legacy when I die for the rest of the planet and the future generations. So this polarity, yes, it's black and white, But, the more polarized it becomes, the more we are able to see clearly what we stand for, and who we are. Who we are. I mean, we're infinite spiritual beings, but we have souls that have, many past life histories, and we come in with an intention for this lifetime, and we are unique in that sense. And this is what Aquarius and Uranus is all about. Saturn is the known boundaries, the skeleton, the third dimension, and the consensus reality, of external authority. And here's what we want to be talking about today. It's not just the Supreme Court. It's not just Trump. It's not just the Chinese and Huawei and Hong Kong and, I mean, now we're coming into a place where we need to own, we need to take our authority. This is the end of the paradigm. It's the end of the patriarchy. And I gotta say, it is a little bit like I expected in one way, that the patriarchy is not just going to hand over power gracefully. Like, no way. They are going to go out fighting with guns drawn, with 5G microwaves shooting at us. Absolutely not. This is, unfortunately, it did not have to be this way. But when there is a resistance to evolution, there is suffering and pain. And the resistance to evolution is a greedy, lustful, hanging, holding on to power, money, influence, fame and fortune, whatever you want to call it. And bam, we are locked in now where business and government have locked and joined hands, all the patriarchy. Basically, all the frickin' zillionaires and the billionaires, are, rolling out 5G despite the fact it's going to kill everything and everybody. It's just like, and the climate change. It's funny, I just read an article this morning. 400 scientists have gathered together to support civil disobedience around climate change. There's a bunch of people getting arrested all over the world for protesting that the governments are not doing anything about climate change. And so the scientists say, we can no longer just write papers and hide out and hope that people read them. It's no longer science as usual. And, it's no longer business as usual. It's no longer science as usual. It's no longer, religion or whatever. It's like, these are not usual times. So, what we want to understand is this becoming our own authorities. Here's where I want to just take a leap into another meta phase, metaphysical reality of the hologram. The hologram. That all parts of a hologram reflect the other parts, as we are all part of the total. And that is why when one of us works on our shadow, we are working on the collective shadow. We are contributing to the evolution of the species by doing our own personal inner work. I'm not saying that you don't want to protest. I'm all for heading out there, waving flags and protesting, and just saying, you know what, this is not healthy. But it's also about, and this is what our mantra today is about, is really coming into my own authority, my own truth, my own integrity, And we can only do it like one by one. We change the world one by one, by being models, by being examples, by walking the talk. And so this leads me into some meditation, some contemplation that I've been looking at in myself. I mean, I come to the Pele Report with a question. What is it in us that is, it's like we are getting this abusive power, this greedy, selfish, psychotic forms of behavior. I want more, 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 more. It's like an ugly beast. What is that ugly beast, in me that is just not satisfied, that has never got enough, that always wants more? This is a part of us. It's the dragon. I think really, the ultimate evolution, this is what Buddha was. It's like the end of desire, is liberation. It's liberation from our own desires. And this is what we can achieve with this energy in Capricorn. And as the sun moves into Capricorn, it's, it's really very interesting. You got Santa Claus making a list, checking it twice. Going to find out who's naughty and nice. You got this old, old man judge from a lot of religions, and then you got this Santa Claus happening. This is all kind of Capricorn. The church just stole the solstices and the equinoxes, right? With Christmas and Easter and St. John's Day and Michaelmas. They just grabbed all the natural pagan forms and holidays, right, of celebration of Mother Nature, and grabbed it, robbed it from us. Anyway, that's Mark. I just met Mark. Mark came down from Alabama to teach a mushroom course over there at Punta Mona. Nice guy. Anyway, told you I was rambling. So here's the big thing. Capricorn and Saturn, this is about maturity. Maturity. Becoming an elder. Growing up. It's got something in common with Scorpio, which is mastery. Now we have Mars in Scorpio. Mars is sextile Saturn right now as I speak. It's exact on Thursday. I don't know if I mentioned it. But this Mars in Scorpio can go one of a couple of different ways. It's I just want more power and more money and more sex and more, me, I. You get into power struggles and sleeping your way to the top or whatever, and just like, or it's matured. It's evolved out of self. Myself, my needs, my body, my desires. And it's moved into, and this is Aquarius, Venus moving into Aquarius, society, groups, global consciousness, saving the planet all together. Nobody first, nobody last. We're all together in one web, one holotropic glob, evolving as one. In Lakesh Alakin, I am another you. So what it is, and what I feel like today, I brought a banana because this is the banana report. And what I feel it is like, we come as, a banana seed or whatever, we grow. Banana's actually a grass. Okay, but it grows and grows and grows, and then it blossoms, and we see the beautiful flowers, and after the blossom comes the fruit, And then that fruit ripens and ripens and ripens and ripens. And at one point, it's ripe enough. Like, stop it. Don't suck any more minerals. Don't take any more, photosynthesis. Don't take any more da-da-da-da. You are ripe. You are ready to be peeled and eaten. To give back to the whole. To give back to the mother. To give back to our brothers and sisters. There comes a point where we individuate enough. Okay, I'm smart enough, rich enough, have enough, da-da-da-da. It's time for me to give back. My life, myself, my energy, my prana, my chi, my kundalini. It's time to return. And this is how we return to source in the spiritual stages of evolution that I have talked about. But what can happen is we can get stuck and we can resist and we cannot mature. We cannot grow up. We can stay in a place of greed, stay in a place of perversion, of dishonesty, of secrets, needing to have more but not wanting to be discovered as to how corrupt and ugly we really are. I find it interesting the Supreme Court has agreed to view the case of whether it's legal, to look at Donald Trump's tax returns. Transparency, okay? I'm peeling my banana. And this is what can be happening to each one of us. And this, in a way, is what the mantra is all about. We are getting peeled. We need to let go, okay, of our peeling, of our protection, of what got us to where we are, right? And as we let go of that, we are seen, we are vulnerable. It's kind of scary, but we are ready to be eaten. We are ready to be, right, to give our fruit, the fruits of our labor, back to the whole. So that I can't just sit here with this banana, man. I'm gonna eat the rest of that later, but it was a little too phallic. So I'm just gonna read the doggone, mantra. Get out of here. Go for a swim. Okay. I will build my character on what I know is right, ridding myself of what's no longer me. I step fully into the light. You got to lose the banana peel. You got to you got to dissolve yourself, whether you're an orange, an avocado, a lemon, a mango. You got to leave the peeling behind. You need to enter the compost pile to return to source, return to Gaia, return to oneness. And thereby you what? You fertilize. You give your life, you give your energy for the future, for the children, for the animals, for the plants. It's just like, the sooner I think that each one of us can come to this place of maturity and contentment, where I'm not chasing dreams and chasing fantasies and, needing more of this and more of that and da-da-da-da-da. It's just like, whoa, this is the key, I think, to inner peace and contentment throughout the year of 2020, is really coming into this place of I am enough, I have enough, I'm okay with what is. This can also be in our relationships and partnerships. Accepting what is. Anyway, you know, enough is enough. Yeah. I will build my character. You know, building character, this is definitely Capricorn, okay? This is Jupiter in Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn. Character. Character. I am not this for my wife. I'm not this for my father or my mother. I'm not this for my kids. I'm not this so that I can get more subscribers or likes on Facebook or make more money on the job. You know, character is I am coming into my own truth. I will build my character because I've decided for myself that this is who I want to be. Boom, right? You know? It's not fake, it's not false, it's not a pretense. It's character. Yeah. I will build my character based on what is right. And I'll let you come to your own rightness. Yeah. There's different rights at different stages, at different ages, at different levels, at different lifetimes. I mean, we come in to a certain set of beliefs because our soul wants to evolve through a certain set of experiences. But that's another Pele report. Ridding myself of what's no longer me. This peeling. Rid myself. Goodbye. It's no longer me. I step fully into the light. Namaste. Aloha. So much banana. Oh my God, I got so carried away that I forgot announcements, man. Raffle drawing. $10,000 worth of presents. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm doing the drawing as the sun goes in to Capricorn. I'm doing it on the solstice, live with Lauda. We're going to be drawing your names out of the hat or the bowl or whatever. Last chance, get those doggone tickets. I'll put the link down there in the notes. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, you know, it's like I want to just support. I got my New York shirt on today, you know, because I read about the protests going on. The year 2020 is going to be the year of protests like we haven't seen in a long time, as the future rises up against the past, and an equal distribution of power is the goal. Anyway, there was something else. What was it? I think I came up with the what 2020 is going to be. Every year I come up with the theme for the year, and for me, I think that the 2020 is the year of the great transition from death toward resurrection. We are not going to resurrect in 2020. 2020 is simply the end, the death of the old, and the very, very, very birth of the new. Last thing I want to say, just think about a baby. You know, you have a baby, and you have no idea what that baby is going to be like 40 years from now, 60 years from now. I mean, we are in this, we're in this birthing process of a new paradigm, and it's really important to focus. It's really important to be present. It's really important to have your character, and it's really important to put yourself out there, and just try to guide in a healthy manner the birthing process of this new paradigm. And a lot of that is going to have to do with getting rid of the old. Peel that frickin' banana, man. Get rid of the old patriarchs. the hierarchical monarchs that are trying to grab power and control. It's time for a revolution. It's going to be a bit of a revolution, I believe, happening. Yeah, as people and the population and the poor people and the immigrants and the minorities and the hungry people and the homeless people have had enough